My best friend committed suicide after having an affair without telling her husband, and he's now asking me what happened. I don't know what to do. Names changed. My 40F best friend, 40F, Rachel, had been married for 20-something years to her husband, John, 42M. They moved away from Utah to stay in SoCal. We've kept in close contact ever since they moved, right up to the time she died. Last year, she came back to Utah to care for her father who had since passed. She was here for a year, and then returned to SoCal, where she complained that her life wasn't much. With her husband's encouragement and mine, she flew back here to Utah for a while to have a change of scenery and be close to family, and that's when the affair happened. One day, she confided in me that she started seeing someone. I was not that surprised, as on a few occasions, she told me she was thinking about divorce, but never went further than toying with the idea. On hearing about her affair, I cautioned her that she should deal with her marriage first and foremost, and she should have known better before engaging in extramarital affairs. She mentioned a name in passing, Jasper, but it wasn't someone I knew. He was married too, from what she told me. I was alarmed and she was embarrassed and dismissive, and that was the last we talked about it. Occasionally she would tell me, "Oh, I met Jasper today." But things took a turn for the worse when she saw that he was having fun holidaying with his wife. She was upset and angry and incredibly sad. A month later, she drowned herself in her father's apartment, her body only found after the smell was noticed by a neighbor. It's been about 6 months since she passed, and her husband and daughter, 24F, are back in town. He sent me a text last night, paraphrased, saying that he was looking for the truth as to why she killed herself and asking if there was anything I was keeping from him. He mentioned the name, Jasper. I think he knows or suspects something. From what I know, her suicide letter just said, "I'm sorry, this was all my fault," but she never went into details. Her sister, who knew about her affair, told me to keep mum about it. I can only speculate why she killed herself, from guilt of the affair or from sadness that Jasper still was with his wife, or maybe even something else. What do I do? On one hand, I have a dead best friend I need to dignify. On another, it's incredibly unfair for her husband and daughter. But if I tell them, Lord knows what would happen. I'm at a loss. Edit, spelling. Update, firstly, thank you all for your comments. I wouldn't have been able to make a decision without the help you guys provided. Being at a crossroads, balancing morals with consequence was tough. I've decided to approach her sister and talk to her about telling her husband. I've also wrote down a list of the facts, no speculation, for John to refer to, and I will pass it to him in due time when we meet up. I will not tell his daughter, that is his choice to do so. I have not replied to his text as Rachel's sister has approached him already. We are going to do it in the next few days, but as of right now we have not settled a date. Some of you were right that her sister knows more, though she has not divulged that information to me. I will update again if there is anything significant. Thank you all for both sides of solutions, and for additional details I did not think of. I, 28M, am unsure if wife, 27F, is cheating on me with a guy she says is gay. Like the title says, I am unsure what to think. This is a longer post, so for TL, DRC bottom. My wife and I have been married for about a year and a half and have known each other for a little over 8 years now. I will be honest with you all, I did cheat on her about 2 months into the relationship. We were long distance for the first 10 months or so, with a friend I had known for years. It was a moment of weakness, naivety, and have regretted it since it happened. I confess that I did cheat on her, but we worked things out over time and I grew into a much more mature person. Again, I know it sounds terrible and I honestly am embarrassed and regret it every day. Some background on our relationship. We are mainly shut-ins and don't really go out to do much other than meals or a random event like apple picking or meeting my wife's friends. We never go to bars just for the fun of it or anything. Since the pandemic started, we live in the US, she's really gotten into watching Netflix a lot more. She's gone through at least 10 shows by now and is constantly watching something, whether it's during breakfast or doing makeup in the morning. I have no issue with this, unless I try to talk to her and she's got the volume up and can't hear me, so I let her enjoy her shows. But recently she has started acting slightly different. She recently received a promotion and got a substantial pay raise. Believe me, during a pandemic, we got extremely lucky, but since then she's acted slightly different. She now goes out to dinner or a bar with her new coworkers at least once a week, which again I have no problem with at all. I get my guy time playing video games. But one day about a month or so ago, she said she was meeting a guy at a local bar for a bit. She reassured me that he was gay and I told her as long as he doesn't make a move I won't be upset with her seeing him. Since then, they have met 3 or 4 times for drinks and an appetizer. Nothing was really bothering me until I saw her phone and was curious. I saw that she had asked him if he was stopping by for a visit today at work. I stopped and didn't read anymore. With her watching her shows and going out with her gay friend, she's been quiet around the house. Last night really got me concerned because before she was getting ready to shower, she sent me a Facebook message about some random post that talked about how amazing it was to have a man who she had no concerns about. Someone you trust with your heart completely and would never turn their back on you. To never wonder where he is or when he's coming home. To never wonder if their love is real. Believe me when I say she has never sent me anything like this before. It was one of those posts your mom would send about having a son or daughter who is amazing, and it is so unlike her to send something like that. Since I saw her messages to her gay friend, I've been dying inside to find out more. She carries her phone around everywhere and she's a super light sleeper. I'm losing sleep over it and am terrified to really see what she is saying. I've become even more paranoid and now think everything she does or buys is for this guy. We are running low on condoms and she bought more on Amazon. I laid awake last night wondering if she was going to sneak some with her. I just need to find out what is going on and if my worries and paranoid are warranted and make sense. Other information: we are part of her family's Life 360 app where locations and drive times are shown on a map. Mother-in-law is super nice but gets paranoid. So with this I can see that she does go to the bars she said she goes to. TLDR, my wife has been acting a little more distant and is now meeting her gay guy friend for drinks, and I'm unsure if things are more than that based on a text she sent and a Facebook message about how great it is to have a man without worrying about what he does. Update number 1, I was able to look through her phone quick while she was in the shower today. Nothing super dramatic on cheating, mostly work talk. However, some things did stand out and hurt me. Something that really stood out is that she initiates the conversations a lot. He talks but isn't super detailed or sends lengthy texts. She'll send him a picture of our dogs and he'll say something like, "They're cute." I did find out he was in the military before starting at her place of work, not to assume or suggest anything, but I feel like there are a lot fewer gay people in the military than compared to civilians. What really hurt me was that it seems she waits for him after work some days, and a series of texts that go like this. "Wife, I wanted to leave with you but have to get this done." Him, "It's no biggie. Don't work too hard, smile." Wife, "Keeps me away from home so whatever. So what did you want to do tomorrow? Promise you're not just doing it cause you feel bad?" Some background on our relationship. We are mainly shut-ins and don't really go out to do much other than meals or a random event like apple picking or meeting my wife's friends. We never go to bars just for the fun of it or anything. Should I, M22, tell my mom, F55, about my dad, M52, cheating? So I'm, M22, not sure how long this has gone on, but I'd say maybe a couple months that my dad has been cheating on my mom. They've been married 30 plus years and I've spoken to my dad and siblings about it. He says that my mother hasn't been around much the past 2 years because she's been involved a lot with her religion, which I can agree on. She was barely home and she'd be out most of the day almost every day. Though that's no excuse to cheat. We've confronted both of them about this and my mother agreed to cut down on how much time she spends away, and we didn't mention my dad's cheating. Hoping that he would just end it with the woman and that would be it. I wasn't in a healthy state of mind honestly when this was going down and wasn't properly thinking about the whole situation. However, the last couple days I've saw his texts and he is still in contact with the woman he was cheating with, so I confronted him yet again and he ended everything with this woman, and I told him to tell my mom about this or we will. Now, knowing my mom, she will be berserk. But the thing is, I honestly don't blame my dad. I knew it would happen because when I'd come to visit it would just be my dad, alone every time I went over. I know he should have just picked up his balls and have a proper conversation with my mom to express how he's feeling and all that, but he's not that kind of guy. But I also love my mom and it's killing me keeping this from her, but I know it'll be easier if she doesn't know and it'll save her the heartbreak if they just try repair what they have or just go their separate ways. I love them both and really just want them to stay together, but what to do? My dad said he will tell my mom everything, but since he's already ended with that woman, would it be a bad thing to keep all this from my mom? TLDR, mom barely home past 2 years, dad been cheating couple of months but ended it. Should I still let him tell my mom knowing it probably wouldn't end well?